Gentlemen, welcome to the live. This is gonna be a dark topic today. It will be sad and painful for some guys in here, but what needs to be done needs to be done. And I do have some valuable information here. In this live, we're gonna talk about why you're still thinking about that one girl, that one woman, your ex-wife, whatever it is or it was, even if it's been years ago, all right? So not fresh after the breakup, but it's been a while. It's been some months. It's been some years, and you might have obsessive thoughts. You might have very negative ideas, feelings of guilt, shame. Reminiscing in the past. And the reason I wanted to cover this topic is because I personally dealt with this a lot in the last 4 years. But I've also seen other guys go through this, even my own father. And it's just a shitty way and a stupid way of spending your time. So the thing is, some situations simply leave a serious impression on people. It doesn't really matter if you're divorced or if it's a thing that lasted only a couple of months. Now I know people will be commenting and complaining and saying things like, yeah, but I was married and I have kids and you don't have kids and I'm older or I'm younger or whatever the fuck. It doesn't really matter. The point is, if you don't watch out, you can stay stuck for such a long time, and it's just a stupid way of living your life. And I'm not gonna promise you that after this video you will have reached complete nirvana and inner peace, and that this will like magically, solve all your problems. It won't, but I can promise you that if you do what I say and deal with yourself, that there will be a clear path forward, and there will be some at least some things to seriously think about, because that's what this is about. So yeah, if you don't know me, my name is Baltus, and I teach ambitious and intelligent men, hopefully like you, to get the women of their dreams or the woman or wife of his dreams through the means of natural daytime cold approach. Okay, if you don't believe that cold approach works, if you think it's fake, um, and if you're gonna start complaining about it, then this channel is not for you. You're literally better off, watching something else and upgrading your Tinder account and just go swiping the couch. So some things we're gonna talk about are the reasons why you might be thinking about her. Some different personality types, attachment styles a little bit, gender differences because men and women do deal different with breakups. Yeah, they do. Mm. Therapy versus coaching. It's very important for guys to not get stuck in this. I'll go to therapy, for weeks and months, forever and forever, and talk about my feelings. So this is not gonna be some let's sit around the campfire session, grab a ukulele, and you know sing some sad songs and talk about our feelings. That's not really what we're gonna do. The point here is move forward and stop staying stuck because that's gonna fuck you up. It's gonna fuck up your mind, and that's not how men work. That's just not how it works. So we're gonna talk about love versus reality, or love and reality. They're not necessarily opposed. We're gonna talk about situationships and the playboy fantasy. We're also gonna talk about guilt and shame, maybe anger, maybe she cheated on you, maybe you cheated on her. We're going to talk about the importance of focusing on the future as well. And finally, just some practical ways for you to move forward, some things you want to keep in mind, okay? So first of all, the good news is that if you're heartbroken, if you're sad, if you are feeling depressed, not if you are depressed, but feeling depressed, feeling bad, you already have access to all the tools you need to improve yourself. And what I mean is, if you are capable, if you have an internet connection, if you are capable of watching this video, then YouTube specifically, but the internet is filled with super extremely valuable information on how to improve your dating life, how to learn cold approach, how to improve your finances, how to improve your health, your fitnesses. It's all out there, okay? My advice is choose your channels wisely and focus on one thing at a time, and just limit your content consumption to what is the most useful to you. And also be careful with falling into the traps of watching the wrong kind of content, but I'll explain a little bit more about that later on. So yeah, this video, what inspired to make me this video is one situationship specifically that happened about 3 years ago. However, this is not me just talking about my personal story. I might make a separate video on that topic later on if I feel like it, but it's really more what I did in the past years and what has worked for me and what could definitely work for other guys out there. It could work for you. I hope it does. Let me know if it does. Let me know if it doesn't. So what's a situationship? Because this is something that I've experienced a lot, and other guys I know personally, and people in my family as well, men and women. So a situationship is basically a relationship where the boundaries, the expectations, and the intentions are blurry. Okay, there's at least one person is avoiding making a clear decision, usually out of fear, out of comfort, or indecision. But it usually means, basically one of the two, the girl or the boy, the man or the woman, isn't sure about what's going on. They're not really serious about the relationship. Maybe you just want to bang the girl. Maybe the girl just wants to bang you, by the way. It happened as well to me. Girls will use you for sex only as well. Maybe somebody is lonely, maybe someone is afraid, maybe someone feels like he or she should have a relationship and therefore chooses to be in a relationship and even move in with a woman when he doesn't even like her. And I've witnessed this with a guy that used to be my friend, close friend. We're not friends anymore because the guy was a coward basically. But I remember him talking about this woman for months and months and months in a negative way, saying that he basically didn't like her that much. He didn't say it literally, but he ended up moving in with her. He lived there for like 1 year simply because it was convenient, because you can share rent, you can share the monthly recurring costs, you have someone to cuddle, you have a girl to sleep with, and you can basically prove to yourself in the outside world that you're a normal guy because you have a relationship and you live with a woman. It's sad, but it's real. Men do this, women do this as well. Okay, for me personally, one of the reasons, by the way, why I ended up a lot in situationships with girls is because, first of all, I was getting them through dating apps. So dating apps are basically increase your chance of ending up with a person that's not a real fit for you, but because you don't have any choice, because you don't have any options, because you're basically stuck with that person because you finally had a match, you end up seeing them way longer than you're supposed to see them. All right, once you really become skilled at daytime cold approach, you fully understand the importance of letting people go as well and focusing on what really matters. To be honest, a lot of women I approach these days, I don't even ask for the number. I don't ask for Instagram, because within 2 minutes I'm like, okay, cool, you're a cool person. I mean, I enjoyed this little interaction and I might find you like very sexually attractive, but we're not a match. I already know I don't really want to date you. Maybe I want to sleep with you, but I don't want to go to a bar or a restaurant and actually spend time with you and invest my time and efforts and money and energy into getting to know you, because it's just not really doing it for me. So it's very, very important when you're dating and when you're at the point that you actually know what kind of women are your type, that you stop wasting fucking stop wasting fucking time with the wrong women. Okay, so the next thing here is something people told me quite a lot typical mainstream, let's call it family advice or mom to son advice or something, is when you're still thinking about a girl, it's been a very long time. People might tell you you don't actually miss her, you miss the fantasy of her, and that just used to piss me off so much. I fucking hate it because it doesn't really do anything, and it could be true, it could also be not true. Who the fuck knows? So you don't miss her, you miss what she represented, you miss the love, the affection, maybe the status if she was very, very beautiful. Yeah, and the girl that inspired me to make this life actually looks a lot like the blonde girl you can see on the thumbnail. And yes, she gave me a lot of status, and when she disappeared to another country because she was sick of Belgium basically, yeah, that hurt because it's very difficult to find a beautiful Belgian girl just like her. Great, great woman, but anyway, that will be for a different life. So the version you were with her, if you think about it, on every date you go, every woman you meet, every cold approach you do, every relationship you have, you're a slightly different version of yourself. She reflects a different man inside you, and some women just make you feel better than others. They just do, and they can make you feel really good. Personally, I really love a dynamic of a woman that's a bit younger than me and that looks up to me and it feels safe with me, and you can be like the protector, you can even be a little bit of a father figure. You can really support her in many ways. It just feels good, it feels healthy, it's a good dynamic. You naturally fall into this leadership position and she naturally feels safe. That's just a good thing, that's just a really good thing. So if that suddenly disappears, there's this gap, there's this pain. Now the problem is, if that just lasts for a very long time, then maybe there could be something wrong with your leads coming in. I mean, if it's been 3 years and you haven't met a single interesting woman, you know, maybe there's something wrong with your lifestyle. Maybe there's something wrong with the city you live in. Maybe you're still swiping on Tinder. You know, maybe you should learn some fucking daytime call approach. So, do you have a system in place in your life to acquire new leads? Do you have an interesting social life? Do you go out at night at all? I mean, I know most people will do that, go to clubs and just get drunk to a bar. I mean, if you're actually having fun, by the way, that's a good way of spending your time. If you're not living at night and destroying all the other things in your life, that can be fun. It can be good. But if it's something desperate, like you're just getting drunk, but you're not really meeting women, you're not enjoying yourself. If you are swiping on Tinder, but it's not really going anywhere, that's just stupid. Okay, so that's really getting serious with daytime call approach. By the way, that was something I did that really motivated me, was just being completely sick of dealing with mediocre bullshit from dating apps. So that was a massive driver for me. So yeah, guilt and shame can keep you stuck. And then your personality, your life experiences, your upbringing, your culture, your social environment. I mean, if you were, if your girlfriend was the prettiest girl in town and there's just like 100,000 people living in a tiny little city, and she disappears or you break up or she dies, then you're screwed because you won't find another one. So you literally have to move. This is, by the way, exactly what beautiful women do. Maybe not all of them, but the point here is a lot of beautiful women, after a breakup, they actually move to different cities, to different countries. I know different women. I can give you several examples of women that just move. My ex-girlfriends, a girl that used to live here, she moved from Belgium to Holland. Another one I know moved from Belgium to Sicily. Another one also moved from Belgium to Holland. So these things just happen. People do it, and those are good decisions, because I don't know, maybe something biological. They just feel they don't have any time to lose. And for me, moving to Barcelona, moving to Belgrade, were things that completely opened my eyes and finally fully made me understand that location is so important and it's a non-negotiable. I mean, you can't imagine how many stupid idiots told me, "Oh, well, you want to move abroad. It's not going to solve your problems. If you can't be happy here, you won't be, won't be happy somewhere else. You're just gonna take the same personal issues with you to the next country you move to, which is fucking stupid. It's not true at all. In many cases, moving abroad will solve all your problems. It just will. So yeah, let's talk about personality type and attachment styles and how women deal differently with breakups than men. So I know everyone's different. I know men and women have different personalities, but it's safe to say that women usually deal a lot faster with breakups than men. Some men really take a really long time to deal with the emotional pain, to really feel what actually happened, to fully understand what the fuck just happened. Um, and from my personal experience, but I'm a bit of an extreme example. Sometimes when I lose a woman, it's only like 4, 5, even 6 months. I really feel that pain, and um, by that time, some of these women will have, well, not forgotten you, but will have felt the pain to a very high intensity and process it way faster than you. And while she's already getting seduced by other guys, by fucking Sicilians on a beautiful sunny island, um, you know, traveling, doing other things, you're still stuck alone thinking of her. Maybe 1, 2, or 3 years go by, and this is from my personal experience, but I can give you examples from friends, and even my own father looking at, sitting on a kitchen chair, staring into eternity, into the garden on a rainy day, and I just know he's reminiscing about the past, thinking about old lovers, and just from the way he talks about my mom as well, how she was the woman of his life and how she was so great and she was incomparable and the best one he ever had, but they never got married and blah blah blah, yada yada yada. It's very beautiful, it's very romantic, but it's also very sad because the guy's living on the French countryside for the past 30 years, not moving at all, still married to the woman he married before he met my mom, and not really making any changes, not really taking action. So that's a stupid way of living your life. And in those 30 years, he could have banged a bunch of 20-year-olds, but he didn't really do it. So yeah. And then attachment styles. So what's an attachment style? An attachment style is basically the way you form relationships with other people. Usually people mean like romantic relationships in adulthood, but it's based on how your caregivers responded to your needs when you were a child. And so you have different attachment styles. You have anxious attachment. You have so anxious or preoccupied. You have the avoidant people, and then you have the disorganized as well, with the traumatized people, and then you have the, what is it, the healthy attachment or secure attachment. So in short, if mom and daddy are very happy and stable and are always there, and they comfort you when you feel sad, and they encourage you when you're doing great things, and they hug you and they give you love and affection, and they're still together and everything's fine, in perfect world, then they will raise kids with a secure, healthy attachment. And then these kids growing up will form healthy, stable relationships. And when they have issues in those relationships, they will talk about it in a mature and relaxed way. They will resolve it and they will work on the relationship, and yeah, and so on and so on. And then people with an anxious or preoccupied or an avoidance style usually have you know, not a stable environment growing up in the same way that I just described with the first situation here. So I'm not a psychologist. I'm not gonna ramble on about it, but it's very interesting to think about these things and to read some books on this as well. And it's also important to understand that while these things can explain a lot and bring some clarity to some degree, that it's important to not get stuck on it and start religiously believing these things as the explanation for all the issues you've had in your life so far, because I fell in that trap. I started reading about about attachment styles 3 years ago, and I became completely obsessed. I bought like 10 books on the subject. I literally spent like $200 on psychology books. I wrote a 40 page essay on attachment styles because I thought that I'm not happy with the girls I've met in my life so far. Therefore, there must be something wrong with me because all my friends and all my family are always telling me, "Oh, she's a good girl. You should settle with her. You should move in with her. Why don't you have a girlfriend? Why don't you have any kids?" All that typical Belgian Western European bullshit. And I started really believing there's something wrong with me, that I'm somehow like sick, mentally ill, and that the only thing that would cure me would be endless therapy sessions. I would probably have to try different kinds of therapies. My own sister even told me, uh, you know, advised me to go in this and that kind of therapy. I don't really remember what it was. And while therapy is useful and is something you should consider if you're struggling with certain issues, because it enables you to really focus on something, it will, it will shine a light on some things. You might discover some things about yourself that you couldn't see together with a therapist. But from my experience, the best therapies I had were like, I have a session, about an hour long session, and then a week later I have another session, and then most of it is resolved. Maybe in rare cases I would go 3 times, and then I don't see her for 6 months or a year or even 2 years. And then when something very weird happens and I'm just obsessed with it, I'll go back and I'll book an appointment. She's really great. I think, to be honest, she's a Serbian woman living here in Ghent, so I do these therapy sessions in English. But yeah, I think she's Serbian, maybe Czech Republic or Serbian. I don't really remember. Really cool woman. But so be careful with religiously believing psychological theories as solutions for the pain you're feeling, because you're not necessarily correct, okay? You can't really measure your attachment style. And I know people will say, yes, you can, because they, have examined kids and they put them in a lab and observed how they reacted to their parents being absent and blah blah blah. I know, but still, you can't fucking measure it exactly. You can't read it on a screen. So don't think like, oh, I have an avoidant attachment style, therefore I always end up with an anxious girl, a woman with an anxious attachment style, and therefore I will never be happy because I'm just doomed to always, keep people at a distance and I'll never be happy. Maybe you just live in the wrong fucking country, bro. Maybe you need to maybe you're just not meeting the right kind of women. Maybe I mean, that used to be the case for me. I used to think like, wow, this girl is really great. I really like her. She's a good girl, but I don't feel like I want to commit my life to her. And then your entire culture and family and friends are telling you like, dude, what the fuck's wrong with you? She's really good. I'm gonna keep her. Like, you found this one. I mean, you're not gonna find another one. Blah blah blah. And you start believing that brainwashing. It's very toxic. It's very dangerous. You should never ever ever push anyone to have a relationship because it's somehow good for them. Even some colleagues advise me like, oh, why don't you live together with your girlfriend? Because then you can finally share rent. You know, that will lower the cost of your monthly expenses and blah blah blah. It's just, those are the wrong reasons. We're living in what we call first world countries, so you don't have to make these decisions. You actually can live alone. Usually you can, or can do some form of co-housing. You don't, I mean, don't live together with a woman unless you want to have kids with her and you feel like you want to get married with her and you're really serious about it. It's stupid to live in the same house with a woman that you find attractive if you don't want a relationship with her. And I did it. I did it like twice. It was stupid. Yeah, that was just stupid. Mm. So what can we say? Yeah, be careful with psychological theories. Be careful with beliefs that will that you think will give an answer to the pain you're feeling. Okay, the same goes for red pill beliefs and channels dedicated to narcissism and victimhood. There's entire YouTube channels out there dedicated to narcissism and how, you know, she was a narcissist and she destroyed me and he's a narcissist and good and bad. This kind of medieval peasant cockroach rat mentality is not gonna get you anywhere. Um, yeah, it is. I don't believe these things are worth spending your time on. It's just bullshit. It's negative thinking, really. Mm. Okay, next, therapy versus coaching. Yeah, so therapy is important, but the danger for men living in highly feminine environments is that this will become a culture of endlessly talking about your feelings, you know, stay calm, talk about it, blah blah blah. It's better than going to psychiatrists and getting medication as some sort of band-aid solution for being feeling bad. But yeah, the, those psychoanalytical, you know, situations where they're like, oh yeah, but you should be monitoring your dreams and should be coming to at least two weekly, you know, 2 therapy sessions a week, maybe more. It's very important that you are invested into analyzing yourself and that we keep serious track of this. And it's, I want to know if you're serious, blah blah blah. And then one therapy session is probably at least $50 or $60. And I mean, I've experienced this myself. That's why after 2 sessions I didn't go back. I wasn't feeling it. You're paying to talk to someone. It's not doing anything. You're barely getting any sort of response. So yeah, therapy works. It has to be a good therapist. Has to be a good therapist. Yeah, this makes me think of a woman who is a psychologist, a licensed psychologist and a therapist herself. She has now her own private practice. Great girl. Love this woman. We've been friends for years, and I'm not sure if she still goes in therapy, but for the 4 years I've known, she always told me she went to therapy like twice. I'm not sure if it was once or twice a week. And this therapist started asking her about like, yeah, and like how many savings do you have, like, because it was so expensive. And I told her several times, like, all the money you're spending on therapy, if you would just go on a trip and leave Belgium, like that would change your life so much more than just endlessly talking about it. And okay, fair enough, maybe it's different for women. Maybe women just enjoy talking about their feelings, but I don't think it's normal to just go on therapy sessions twice a week for like 4, 5, 6 years in a row, spend fucking 10 to 15 grand on it, not have the money to go on a trip or buy a house or get a car or whatever the fuck. And by the way, the funny thing is, she and she stopped going to therapy. Then at some point last year she went to Cuba for the first time, and when she came back she looked completely different. She was like twice as beautiful. She had a little tan. She has long blonde hair. Very intelligent woman. Nice jewelry. She had like a new purse. She had some new clothes as well, like with a skirt showing some legs, which is kind of unusual for Belgium. She looked so beautiful, and clearly those Cuban boys did something incredible to her, because like the way she jumped me when she was in my house was just insane. And that sexual experience was just, yeah, it was just incredible. It was so good. So yeah, that just shows it's probably better to spend your money on traveling than it is on extended, long, um, and costly therapy sessions. I'm not saying therapy doesn't work. it works, but just be careful. And if you get a feeling it's not really therapist for you, or it's not really going anywhere, then it means that it's just not really going anywhere. And men need action, direction, um, movement, accountability. All right. You've basically been conditioned to believe in inaction and stagnation, and to be weak. That's what society is teaching men today, to be a closet heterosexual weak man, so you don't complain, so you don't resist, and you just pay your fucking taxes and do fuck all. Straight homos, as I heard somebody say. um yeah, so yeah, what can we say? That's it. You don't need endless talk about your feelings. You need direction, you need action. Okay, same with cold approach. You don't need preparation, you don't need more information, you don't need some magical secret that will unlock your approach anxiety. I mean, I can show you books here. I've thrown most of them away because they're useless to me now. But before I learned cold approach, I had a lot of books about dating, and there are even books on cold approach, and it's interesting to read. It's fun to read for somebody that's not really doing real cold approach at all. But it will also not teach you how to cold approach. A book on seduction will not learn you how to seduce a woman. A book on social skills will not give you more social skills. And there are some interesting books out there. I mean, don't get me wrong. The like How to Win Friends and Influence People. I read about half of it. It's actually a fun book. It's nice. It has some interesting things in there. But if you want to become a more sociable person, you'll still have to hit the streets and go to clubs and go to parties and go to on solo trips with friends and do things, right? Or this book here, which I'll just show it to you. I'll just fucking show it to you. So this book, um, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I'm not sure if this is showing like mirrored or backwards or not. It's a fun book. Yeah, sure, you can read it. You will only benefit from it. It's not gonna get you laid. But and then these kind of things are just a fun read. The Art of Seduction. Don't think that this book will teach you how to seduce women. It won't. But it is well written. It's basically a historical overview of how people think about sex, love, women, relationships, seduction. Some famous seducers like Casanova, like I don't know, other people. I only read a couple of chapters, because then I started cold approaching. So I didn't need these books anymore. But I'll read it someday just for fun. By the way, talking about getting some clarity on maybe you feel like you have some some patterns in your relationships, and if you want to get some clarity on it, it might help you understand your family. It will actually, and your past relationships. If you want to know more about attachment styles, this is actually a really good book. This is written by the right people. Okay, the people, who is she, Diane Pooler Heller. She actually knows what she's talking about. It's very well explained. It's very interesting. Okay, don't become obsessed with it. Don't just religiously believe it and think it will solve all your problems. But it's a good book. And then this one, yeah. If you feel bad, you want to read The Picture of Dorian Gray, it's not gonna do anything at all. So what else do we have? Yeah, The Rational Male. So you have a lot of rational males. You have what is this? Volume 4. I think you have at least 5 volumes. Now, the first one actually has some valuable content. However, I gave it to someone, I think. That's why I don't have it here. Yeah, it has some interesting concepts. However, it's typical for guys who feel heartbroken, sad, and feel like their wife cheated on them or left them, or they got divorced, and then they end up in this typical red pill ideology, and then resent women and feel sorry for themselves, and kind of solve the issue by telling themselves like, okay, I'll just make money, I'll just work on my physical health, and I'll just use women for sex because they all cheat on me, they're all bad, they're all negative. It's just a matter of time before every fucking relationship just turns into shit and dust, and before they use me, right? This I think the writer is an American. Maybe that explains why. So yeah, I don't really believe that anymore. I read almost all of these. So more books on attachment. As I said, I used to be obsessed with this, but not anymore. I wrote a 40-page essay on attachment styles 3 years ago. Maybe I should, it's probably written in Dutch. Maybe I should translate it to English and hand it out for free, because it's quite funny. I included these memes and pictures because I was kind of probably feeling sorry for myself and trying to make up for it with some dark jokes. This is always a good read. Won't mend your broken heart, but I mean you should read Jordan Peterson. And then this one, when talking about love and relationships, it's a good one. Okay. So Neil Strauss, who's Neil Strauss? He wrote the book The Game, the Bible for pickup artists. It's still considered as like the ultimate reality for some idiots on the streets. I think they need to learn magic tricks or lines, or you know, like these guys in Serbia. You know, they like to call seduction game. They like to still think they have to be a certain way, like seduction is an act, like you know, you need to be funny, you need to be blah blah blah. Yeah, this is, I don't really want to talk about it too much because it's so fucking stupid. But Neil Strauss is actually the journalist that documented and then became part of you know, the OGs of pickup like mystery, and ended up being one of his very close friends. And that's how he wrote the book The Game. And the guy's a journalist, and he actually is a good writer. The Game is a good read. It's a good book. It's a fun story. It's not really, it won't give you any actionable insights. When you have The Game, and then you have the mystery method, which is supposedly like a practical guide to actually applying all the stuff from the game, the story of the game. But it's, the mystery method is just some garbage. Maybe if you're a very extroverted, outgoing party guy and you learn this stuff, it might work. But for most guys out there, using The Game and the mystery method, those two books, as a practical guide is absolute bullshit, and it will not do anything. But then afterwards, this guy, the same writer of The Game, Neil Strauss, he wrote this book, The Truth, you know, an eye-opening odyssey through love addiction, sex addiction, and extraordinary relationships. This guy tried everything, all right? He lived together with, and he's talking about it in this story. He lived together with one woman, with two women, with, I think, even with 4 women. He was obsessed with finding a bisexual girlfriend so he could have endless threesomes with his girlfriend and then other girls, but it didn't really work out. He went to orgies, he used all sorts of drugs, he witnessed men fucking, you know, other men's girlfriends, and then like high-fiving each other, all that kind of weird stuff. Yeah, he got married, he got divorced, he has kids now. He just, I mean, the guy has so much experience in love, women, dating, and relationships, from cold approach to night game to learning tricks to banging porn stars, all that stuff. So if he has something to say about seduction, relationships, and his experiences, it's just worth reading it. And it's just well written. It's just a cool book. I enjoyed reading it. Maybe someday I'll read it again. It talks a little bit about attachment styles as well. So yeah, it's worth considering. So yeah, coaching, therapy. What else? We've talked about some things. So yeah, men need a balance between coaching and therapy. Talking doesn't fix your life. Taking action does. I wish somebody told me this like 10 years ago. And then the next thing is love versus reality. Maybe not necessarily like versus, they're not really opposed, but love and reality, or love in reality, because simply put, love is not enough for a relationship, okay? Hey, Igor. How you doing? I didn't see the comments. How are you doing, Igor? Where are you? Are you Russian? Or are you Eastern European? Or are you in Europe? So yeah, love is not enough for a relationship. Um, Practical reality will always, without any fucking exception, win. If you can call it winning, will always win from uh, love only. So what the hell am I talking about right now? You can love a woman, you can love a woman, you can have a relationship with her, and maybe you're broke, maybe you're sick, maybe you're unhappy, maybe you're unhappy. Maybe maybe you refuse to have a relationship with her. It happened to me several times. And so what will happen is, if you don't, if your practical reality between the two people, between the woman and the man, if that doesn't match, if it doesn't align, if you don't share the same values, the same goals, if you don't live in the same, somebody else will. That's just, it happened to me several times. uh, I broke up with an ex-girlfriend. Well, girlfriend, it was another situationship. I refused to have a relationship with her. I was still in contact with her, and then at some point, like with over the span of 2 months, uh, she she got married. She got engaged, and so yeah, if you don't make her official, someone else will. So claim her or release her. Something I wanted to say. So relationships need teamwork. They they need direction, they need leadership, they need clarity, and they need practical reality. At some point, if you've seen a woman for months and months, you should know what you want, you should know where it's going. If it just stays in this endless situationship blur of like, oh, I don't know, I just want my freedom, blah blah. I mean, if she's doing that, if you're doing it, it's not gonna last. Okay, it's just not gonna last. And so love's not enough for a relationship, for a long-term relationship, but love is also not enough for dating to succeed. I mean, I've dated women in Barcelona, and like, I felt like love for who they are and how good these women were making me feel quite fast. But that doesn't mean that actually went anywhere. I mean, I met this great half Italian, half Brazilian girl, and I really liked her. She was fucking awesome. We were the same age as well, which is kind of unusual for me. But um, we had just the most fun and inspiring, cool dates. I mean, she was literally crying because she was laughing so much on our dates. And then we just only spent 2 days together, right? But I really felt like some connection there. And then she vanished into thin air. Of course, never saw her again. I will never see her again. And when she was at home, she posted pictures of her husband and had her kids, and I didn't know that. So yeah, love can feel good. Emotions and feelings can feel very intense, but it doesn't mean that your relationship will actually succeed. There has to be some practical reality. So if you're serious about the girl, you're serious about her. If you're not serious about her, somebody else will be serious about her. Okay. And that brings us into the next thing, which is situations and the playboy fantasy. So yeah. So after sleeping with a girl for, I don't know, Joseph said like 6 bangs, and you should know where it's going, but probably it's probably less. if you slept with her 3 times, you can say 3 times. There's no point really in getting, you know, giving this a number. But you should know quite fast if you're serious with a woman or if it's something casual, because you're gonna hurt yourself, you're gonna hurt the woman, and you're gonna make a mess of your life. Plus, you're gonna waste your fucking time, um, and you won't be as dedicated on things that really matter. And thinking of this and saying this right now, the time in my life that I had the most situationships was when I had the least clarity on who I was, who I wanted to be, and I didn't have, you know, I wasn't really enjoying my job too much. Didn't really know where I was, you know, where things were going, and didn't have a clear path or clear direction. So yeah, the idea, here's the Playboy fantasy, the idea of endless ongoing fun with a girl, you know, no consequences, no strings attached, is a fantasy. Energy, time, emotions are always being invested, always. So it doesn't exist. This is literally a 14-year-old's ecstasy fueled Playboy fantasy that you can just bang hot chicks all the time and nothing's gonna, you know, nothing's gonna happen. And by the way, so let's say like, oh, but Baltus, I mean, you were gonna teach me cold approach and I thought I was just gonna bang all these hot chicks and be happy forever, right? Okay, fine, I know. But so what options do you have? You have prostitutes, you have escorts. That's the way to do it. It's gonna cost you a lot of money, all right? Then another option is cold approach or dating apps. But, and yes, you could do it. You could sleep with all of them if you come in with the mindset, if you come in with the energy and the straightforwardness of an actual seducer that is there for a fun and exciting experience and not as a boyfriend. Because too many guys, and I'm guilty of this as well, I used to be that guy years and years ago, and I'm not proud of it, but I used to be that guy that was like the sweet seducer that kind of floated between being a you know, an interesting sexual opportunity for the girl and a potential boyfriend. It was kind of blurry. It was like I was like both at the same time. And what happens is that you'll just make a mess of your life, and women will end up hating you. I mean, they might still stay with you, but it's just not gonna work out in the long run. So you could say time's not a problem, and if you think time's not a problem, then you're probably a younger guy between 16 and you know 27 or something. But yeah, there will be a time where you will think about who am I banging, why am I banging her, and how much time do I want to spend banging on her, because banging her, because yeah, unless you're completely satisfied with like having a purely sexual life only, it's not really gonna make you feel so good. So yeah, let's talk about the next thing, which is guilt and shame. So yeah, guilt and shame. Well, guilt is inevitable if you ignore the above. And I understand if you want to ignore the above. I mean, I used to be that guy that would ignore all the advice from all the people around me. Like, oh, well, you know, you should have some clarity. You should make it official. You should this and that. Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you just want to bang around, then you just have to bang around. You just have to bang it out. If that's what you want to do, then by all means do it. I'm not saying it's bad. It's actually a good thing. Most men don't even come close to the experience of real sexual abundance. They have no clue what it is. They just don't. They might kind of boast about it and say they do. Yeah, and I banged this and bad, blah, blah, blah. You know, and that day or that year, that holiday, I had this girl and that girl, and I was in the club and I did this and that. But it's bullshit. Usually, it's very, very rare that you will meet a man that actually has a lot of sexual experience. And it's even more rare that you'll meet a man that has a lot of sexual experience and it were, you know, and it's only good experiences. And what I mean with good is it was, you know, very clear straight off the bat from the start to the woman and to himself that this would only be something sexual, right? I don't think so. I'm not saying that it's impossible. It's actually something you want to learn. It's a skill you can learn. but usually it just doesn't go that way. So yeah. So guilt, yeah, how to deal with guilt. Guilt means you've evolved. It means you don't approve of your past actions anymore. So yeah, that's true. I mean, it will just take time if you feel guilty about something. uh yeah, shame's toxic because it makes you believe you are bad. You're not bad, you've just simply changed. um every man is good and bad at the same time. Okay, there is no, there's not like two camps, two groups in the world of bad man and good man. It doesn't exist. Every man is good and bad at the same time. Got the fucking bullshit. I don't understand why people are still living in fucking middle ages and medieval times. Okay, every man is good and bad at the same time, period. I don't want to hear about anything else. So yeah, and breakups are a part of growth. Each one trains you for the future. So yeah, if you've experienced a breakup, if you feel like she was the one, like you know, you ruined your life because it should have been her. If that's what you truly believe after years and years and years, then there's something wrong with your leads coming in. There's something wrong with you. This is not about the girl. This is about you. Um, because that means I mean, fair enough if you're 90 years old and you know you've lost her last year, then yeah, dude, you're probably screwed. But hopefully that's not the case. Please let me know if it is the case. That would be hilarious. But yeah, so each relationship trains you for the future. You don't need a lot of training as well. All right, once you know your type, if you truly recognize a woman as your type, it's okay to have a relationship. It's good, definitely when you're younger. I mean, at every stage in your life, it's probably good to have a relationship, if it's the right relationship, and if you are in your life where you want to be, if you have the income, if you have, basically, if you can raise kids, if you're ready to have kids. You shouldn't really have a relationship if you're not ready to have kids. Relationships are for you to have kids, right? It's one of the reasons. It's not the only reason, but it's a very important one. So yeah, and then finally, well, not finally, there's more. The importance of focusing on the future. So what really rid me of insistent obsessive thoughts about ex-girlfriends and endless romantic weird dreaming and feeling guilty and being ashamed and like feeling stuck and feeling this necessity to have, to conform to the society and have a girlfriend and show my girlfriend and all that kind of nonsense, is having a clear path in life and really making long-term decisions and plans and things to look forward to. Um, so when your mind drifts back to that ex-girlfriend, really become aware of it and redirect it towards your long-term vision. All right. So, oh, I miss her. She was so good and blah blah blah. Okay, dude, I'm making long-term plans. I mean, I know I'm not gonna stay in Belgium. I mean, my business is going well. Things are going well. I'm very healthy. I'm an intelligent man. I will find great women. I have a great woman in my life right now as well. I don't know if it's gonna last forever or not. It doesn't even matter because no matter what, even if I lose all the women I know today, I know because I have the skill of daytime cold approach, I'll meet more women because my life is getting more interesting every month, every year because I'm improving myself so much. Everything will be okay. So yeah, life is about your path, your direction in life. It's not about a woman that's not longer in your life because you're thinking about her, and this is typical for guys. You might be thinking about her, but she's not necessarily thinking about you. Just keep that in mind. She could have kids already. She's probably getting railed on the Sicilian beach right now, having the time of her life. Um, that's that's just the fucking reality of it. So think about that. Think about that. Women will process the breakup faster. They will find a partner faster than you. They will be at their peak attractiveness because they're vulnerable, they're sad, they're lonely, they're looking for new affection and love. Women are simply not designed to stay single for extended periods of time. It just doesn't make any sense. But when a man is sad, lonely, depressed, negative, and weak, because it makes you weak, these thoughts after a breakup, you're at your worst. It's absolutely horrible. That's why I'm making this video, because you don't want to stay in that place. It's stupid. It's bad. And you will have to deal with the pain. You will have to deal with the guilt. But you actually can deal with it. And you have to be aware of these things I'm telling you. So yeah. So yeah, breakups are not the end. They're a training for the future. People that are stuck in the past, people that are constantly reminiscing about the good old days, they're usually unhappy people, okay? It's not the kind of people you want to have around you. You don't want to, if if you're best friends with yourself, you don't want to be stuck with a guy that's constantly thinking of the past and of his ex-girlfriends, all right? So it's stupid. People that focus on the future and are truly driven to improve because they take action to improve things, they're happier. And if you don't really know what you're supposed to do, if you don't know your path or your purpose in life, start doing something. Do something you like a little bit. Even if you like almost nothing, but there's one thing you like a little bit, do that for a while. See what happens. You're not supposed to feel good about something before you're actually doing the thing, if that makes sense. So yeah, build your own life first. Don't prioritize having a girlfriend. Don't think you need a girlfriend to be happy or be normal. It's stupid, okay? You're if you're a guy in the West, you're probably conditioned to believe this, to kind of serve the feminine, have go to work and invest your existence into your relationship and your kids. It's not true. It's stupid. It doesn't work that way. So you don't need a relationship to be happy. It's a consequence of your lifestyle. Might be difficult to understand this if your lifestyle is not on point. And I know you wanna get laid. I know the biological needs to procreate and to have girls and women and sex and love and affection is there, and it's fine and you can have it. However, don't don't decide on yeah, don't decide on a relationship before you're completely happy with yourself. And I mean, fair enough if you're not quite where you want to be in life and you have a woman that supports you and you can grow together, fine. I mean, there's no absolute principles or rules here, okay? I mean, it's not black and white, but generally speaking, if you're not happy going in a relationship, it's not really gonna end that good. All right, might take you a lifetime of misery to figure it out. It might take you 10 years. I mean, one of my best friends got married to a great woman. Everybody considers them to be like the ultimate couple, but last time, I mean, they've been married for what? They have two kids. They've been married for 4 years, maybe now, maybe 3, 4 years. Yeah, the guy is not taking care of himself. He's not. He wasn't before they met. He thought, and he never said this, but he thought a marriage would set him straight. But yeah, he's still smoking, still drinking, still not working out at all. Oh, I don't have time and the kids and blah, blah, bullshit. I don't want to hear about it. His wife's going on a fucking trip to Egypt, and I asked him, why aren't you going with her on a trip? I mean, it's Egypt. Have you been in Egypt? I've been there twice and I will definitely go back. Egypt is incredible. It's an amazing country. It's an amazing culture. The people are so fucking cool. One of the happiest, healthiest social energies I've been around are Egyptian people. The men are cool. The women are, well, it's hard to. I did some cold approach in Egypt, but it's quite difficult. They're adorable. These Egyptian girls. I would say not as beautiful as Moroccan girls, but they're still cute. So the point here is his wife is going on a trip to Egypt and he doesn't want to go. He's like, oh, why would I do it? Like, I don't care about it. I'm just gonna stay home and work and smoke cigarettes and I don't know, jerk off to porn probably and or whatever. So you don't need a relationship to be happy, right? Get your shit together. Ideally, get your shit together before you move in with a woman at least. Your future is worth more than your past. Travel, go travel alone, go travel with friends. Solo travel is important, it's a non-negotiable. Improve your location. There's nothing that will heal your pain as much as truly being focused on improving yourself and your environment as well. I literally had to change friends, I had to change cities, I had to move to Barcelona, I had to move to Belgrade, I had to go on trips to London, Amsterdam, Malaga, Valencia, Egypt, to escape the bullshit of the local culture here. So I have a mission, have long-term goals, all right? Ask yourself this: if you're depressed, lonely, sad, and thinking about your ex-girlfriend, what are your long-term goals in life? How is that looking? You know, how is your lifestyle? What are you actually doing on a day-to-day basis? Who are your friends? How's your relationship with your aunt, your uncle, your parents? So yeah, if and then yeah, finally, if your inner voice told you to break up and move on, then that was the right decision. There's no such thing as constantly thinking that you should break up with a girl because she's not the right one, and then still staying with her, and then that somehow magically working out as the best, most, you know, happiness, happy decision of your life. Is not gonna work. So moving in together with women for convenience, for financial reasons, just so could you can be like each other steady beer, and then out of maybe guilt as well, because you feel like you should do it, because you owe it to her and to your family and your culture, because you want to feel normal. It's just stupid. Okay, so yeah, cold approach will give you more options than you can imagine. Natural daytime cold approach. I teach this. Okay, if you feel like it's something that could be a fit for you, because it's not really a fit for everyone. Not every guy wants to cold approach. Some people just want to watch videos and think about it, and try Tinder and do what their friends do and go to clubs and get drunk and then go to the techno party and pop ecstasy pills and kind of wait for things to naturally happen. I'll find her when I'll find her. Be passive about it because you've been taught to be passive and to be a good boy. It's not gonna work out, okay? So if you're ready to transform your dating life, if you're ready to take action in your love life the same way that you should be doing in your business, your career, your fitness, your health, your self-development, if you're serious about it, if you don't want to stay behind like most men do, if you want to meet an absolute 10 out of 10 girlfriend, bombshell wife, then click the link below, book a call with me. During that call, we will see if you're a fit to work with me. It's not meant to talk about the past. That call is not meant to talk about our feelings and about our ex-girlfriends. I mean, we could eventually discuss these things as well, and yes, I can offer you some clarity on it. However, the point here is, where do you want to be, where do you want to go to, what kind of life do you want to have 1 year from now? Do you want to be dating gorgeous women that completely blow your mind? And I can fucking guarantee you, because I saw it with different guys, like they come in the first day of doing an immersion with me and they start talking about their ex-girlfriends. Oh yeah, and and I've just had a relationship and it's been difficult. And all right, I get it, it is difficult. But do you think they were still talking or thinking about their ex-girlfriend after 3 days, when they just went on a date with an absolute stunner in Barcelona? You think that really happened? No, I never heard a guy talk about his past relationship. Well, actually, I did. And what he was saying was that cold approach enabled him to free himself from these negative thoughts, because cold approach, and we're not trying to cover up like pain with, oh yeah, cold approach and just bang other girls and and just keep grinding. That will actually help a little bit, but that's not the point here. The point here is, as a man, you are responsible for generating your own options in your love and romantic life, you are. Cold approach is not a luxury product. It's actually an absolute necessity. It's a baseline requirement. And yeah, if you don't cold approach your woman, somebody else will. I will do it. And yeah, if she doesn't get approached, someone else will take her. So click the link below, book your call with me. Let me see if there's some questions here. And during that call, we'll figure out if you're a fit to work with me or not. Not everyone's a fit, okay? The point is really making sure that I can get you results, and I can only get you results if you want results and if you're willing to put in the work, put in the reps. We can pick a location, we can pick a time to work together. I will guide you through the entire process from every step of the way, from stopping a girl naturally, how to give her a compliment that feels real, your body language, your tonality, how to set up the date, how the texting works, how to do the follow-up. Yeah, that's it. Was there anything else? So if you are still thinking about your ex-girlfriend, it's been years and years and years, just think about your lifestyle, think about the progress you're making. If you're not making any progress, it's not good. Don't stay stuck. Don't reminisce in the past. People who think about the past stay in the past, and people who think about the future usually feel a lot better. So yeah, see you guys. We'll see